You're going to want to start it up. What I would suggest you doing is have somebody in the machine start the machine and look at the engine compartment. Make sure you're not seeing exhaust leaks. Make sure that everything looks like it's working like it's supposed to. You really need the machine to warm up and let it run for about 10 minutes before you can really decide if the hydraulic drive is running like it's supposed to, because it's not unusual for the oil, I guess, maybe to be a little thicker or whatever, and for it to perform a little better when it's cold as opposed to when it heats up. You know, those pumps, and I guess the oil gets a little thinner, whatever it may be, but it can lose its power, and it doesn't usually take very long if there's a problem. Nice to know that your auxiliary hydraulics are actually working. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean just because they're here they work. You know, they have to be turned on, and they have to, you know, send flow to it. Typically, if your boom and your bucket are moving like they're supposed to, and they're moving at the right speed, under a lot of cases, you'll know that your auxiliary hydraulics are probably going to be performing okay too, but you don't really know that they're able to turn. It'd be if you can turn them on and just deadhead them, and just hear that it's, you know, that it's you'll hear the hydraulics trying to cut on, and you can hear it if you're trying to cut the auxiliary zone and there's nothing hooked up. It'll kind of load the engine a little bit, and you can listen out for that. That lets you at least know you're getting fluid that's trying to come up to these couplers.
When I get in the cab, I'm looking at a machine. First thing, like I said before, I'm going to get the hours. I'm going to see if the lights are working and everything on there. One of the big things too I'm going to do, which is really important, is when I crank this machine up, before I crank it so you can hear me, I'm going to cut the hydraulics on, and I'm going to activate them to make sure that the hydraulics are working. Because a lot of times, you know, that's a big deal, people buying the equipment is to run attachments and everything. There's several times you're looking at trade-ins and stuff, and you do that, you'll see that they're not even working. So I mean, there you got a big expense operating one, as far as the raising and lowering of you know, how the timing and everything is on going up and down. And then just like moving it, put it on the ground like that, had tilted up, did it right there too. I was checking the blade and the boom. A lot of times as time goes on and people are lacking on greasing machines, or due just to age and stuff, when you do like that too, you'll get a lot of slop in there where the bushings are really wore down. And then you get a lot of that too for people that just don't grease the machine like they're supposed to. Most of all, the customers actually grease their machines that I've talked to, usually between 6 and 10 hours. You know, it's running a lot. So I mean, that's the life of. I always tell them too, to bring it to our shop. You know, do our shop rate, let our mechanics go through it. They can hook it up to a computer and tell them everything. It'd be the best, you know, 60 or 70 bucks they ever spent to take it to a dealership and let the dealership go